Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Howdy, howdy, howdy from bright, beautiful, and lovely Austin, Texas, here at the Circuit of the Americas. It is the iGPFun Formula 3 Series, the 20th edition, presented by SRP. SRP here on Apex Racing TV. I am Austin Knight. I'm joined by Charles Bob Shell with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. And like I said, we are here at my not biased most favorite track in the world, Circuit of the Americas. Charles, how are you feeling about today? Welcome to Texas.
Oh, absolutely. You're looking forward to this. This is a track that I don't drive very often, but I do like it. It's obviously it's very unique in how it presents everything. And the F3 car is, I don't know, it's kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I normally drive GTs, but I will occasionally jump in the F3 car and take it for a spin, and I always enjoy it.
Yeah, Formula Racing's home here in the United States of the America. The only permanently standing current Formula car track on the calendar here in North America that is still hosting the top leagues of Formula Racing. Formula One obviously heads here at Circuit of the Americas for the United States Grand Prix. Yes, we do have other tracks in the season, but they are not permanently standing. Unlike this beautiful behemoth here at Circuit of the Americas, celebrating its 10th year last year. It's looking on 11th year. Going on right now with a lot of additions heading in 2023, including 2 roller coasters. But yeah, Circuit of the Americas, such a lovely track. A lot of drivers not a fan of it because of its crazy track limits, but it's such a fun track to race on and drive around. I'm going to be very biased, by the way, on how much I say drivers love. When I say drivers, I mean me.
Yeah, absolutely. With good reason. Everybody likes their home track, right? So I will always cheer on Barber Motorsports Park because I live in Birmingham, Alabama, and I think it's a beautiful track and it's a great venue for racing. But yeah, this is a good track, and yeah, everybody complains about the track limits in the iRacing service with this track.
They have a point.
Yeah,
they have a point.
They do have a valid point, but there's also a couple other things that really catch drivers out, especially through the S's, those orange triangle curbs, which will absolutely destroy the front end of your car if you let them.
Sports cars, we've seen the sports cars, you taking the curves very hard on these, but in these Formula cars, those are walls of death that you definitely do not want to touch at all on the inside of the S's. Also, the second part of the S's, the off-camber turn 9. When you're going up the hill, they got that blind apex right there. So easy to cut the track and then go out a little bit wide. We actually released a April Fool's joke saying we named that corner after Apex Racing TV's corner, Apex Corner, because everybody misses it.
Yeah, it is a very difficult corner. I mean, there's a lot of difficult corners on this course. It's a really challenging track, because it takes a lot of those corners and mixes it with a lot of speed because you've got a couple of really big straightaways. With some hard braking points, you need to make sure that you handle properly. So it's a good test for a driver, this circuit.
It really is. You got the opening S's, which, it picks and chooses parts of famous tracks around the world. So we're looking at turn 9 and turn 10 with Steven Ritter's going out a little bit wide. Then we get on to the fast section here into the hairpin at the turn 12 hairpin, then down that long back straightaway. This is where we're going to be seeing a lot of draft battles, drivers in that draft tucked in and trying to find that opportunity to go down towards the inside, send it down into one of my favorite sections of tracks. I call it the arena. All that slow section of tracks able for cars to battle through in corners and through out of corners. It's also a beautiful place to watch a race. Stands all around it, kind of like a arena. It's also where the unscanned rallycross track is, actually.
Yeah, it is a very fun little section. Even when you're single file, it's a very technical section, of course, to try and master because it's so. Some of those turns, it just seems like you just kind of struggle getting the apexes for everything and getting all the maximum speed through that section, and so it's really difficult. It takes a lot of time to get that down. I don't think I still have it the way it's supposed to be, but I do my best to.
It's a lot of pick and choose. You can do a lot of different lines, or that's something I've told myself because I can't do it. What is definitely going to be a big talk about today is tire management. How are your tires going to be at the end of this race? We are scheduled for 25 laps here today. There was a 20-lap race on the weekend that a few of these drivers took place in. Their tires were on shreds after that race. They got 5 more laps here today. I'm expecting we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers get a little bit struggling with the tires and the tire management here today. This might become a very weird race, and we might see somebody who we don't usually see on top of the leaderboard take advantage of the tire issue and just save the tires will be the keys here today. Saving tires, hitting those apexes, not getting a drive-through, having a clean race here as we are looking at our leaderboards right now, and it's Jesper Sandstrom sitting up there on provisional pole, followed by Victor Barris and Michael M. Coffrey. Will McIntyre Jones is still out there on the track. He's has the opportunity to improve on his time as we're looking at Adatazo pass through my favorite corner in the world, Whataburger Corner. Brilliant restaurant. Brilliant burgers.
I'll take a double with fries and the spicy ketchup, please.
I'll take a Whataburger with grilled onions and a Coke no ice on the side with fries and spicy ketchup, please.
Gotta have the spicy ketchup.
You always gotta have spicy ketchup. Smoley, what do you want? Well, it's gonna be a lot of fun here today, and yeah, wonderful corner. That corner is always where it's actually where I actually sit during the F1 Grand Prix on that hill, sitting in turn 19.
Yeah,
And yes, Simoli, you heard that right. It's southernly pronounced Whataburger, even though it spells Whataburger. Everyone says water.
Yeah, Whataburger. Yeah, it's a southern thing, and not everybody can figure
Understand
it out.
it.
But yeah, for sure.
If you wonder why we sometimes mispronounce names, this is why.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's similar to the Brits with bottle of water, which they lose about 3 syllables out of that sentence when they say it. So it is what it is.
It's funny. We were talking about that yesterday. The 3.5 broadcast around Barcelona. But I think that was after the broadcast. Though qualifying is now over, it's time to get this race rocking and rolling here at Circuit of the Americas. Jesper Sandstrom starts up on pole ahead of Victor Barris, Michael Coffrey, and Will McIntyre Jones, followed by Lee Aberdeen, Luca Verani, Christian Glamstetter, and Lucas Maruk, Kevin Slemstra, and Kenzie Nimewolf, Samuel Hermer, and Alistair Hay in 11th and 12th place. Behind them, it's Andy Flint, Tony Jimenez, Pedro Soares, Evan Way, Leonardo Cherry, Philip Lucas, Irvin Tumacans, Stephen Ritters, Adam Talbot, Chuck Maru, Simone Fessy, and Slack Williams in 24th. Ryan Barry, Clark Williams, Richard Van Veen, Kuji Aito, Marcelo Kessler, Ben Goyette, Robert Ridgway, Gaten Imhoff, Edward Amos, Reed Dennis, Zoltan Zolmer, Alan Lee in 36th place. Behind them, it's Matt Brewer, Paolo Breme, Reno Scattini, Ruto Magoria, Martes Odlovs, Johan Hernandez, Casey Isaac, Fernando Correz, James Carter, Dorian Arroyo, Giovanni Saletto, and Matthew Gracie in 48th. At the back of our grid, the local boy, Jose Arroyo, the Texan driver, starting at the end of the grid as we ride on board the most circle-active blimp I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I think the blimp was doing a tribute to Ken Block right there, just doing donuts in the sky.
There you go.
Rest in peace, Ken. As drivers are sitting on the front straightaway, looking up the hill towards Big Red Corner, as everybody is just waiting for Sandstrom, Ridgway, and Isaac to get onto the track. There they are right now. 10 seconds is the countdown before we get ready to rock and roll on this wild rodeo here today as the 5 red lights go green, 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 and away we go here at Circuit of the Americas for the iGPFun 20th anniversary. As it's Sandstrom down towards the inside, up to the lead, down to the inside, right behind him is Michael M. Coffrey looking down towards that apex, that mid right corner, and trying to make that move, but off the ace of Victor Barris gets that overtake on right now. Michael McIntyre Jones trying to look down to the inside of Coffrey, but he backs off right there as we head into the S. Is very dangerous on these opening laps, especially if you go side by side. Everybody keeping a very good line. Lucas Maruk actually made a good move off the line. Improved one spot, but everybody else keeping in their spots. Everybody very tightly with each other. Leonardo Ochoa and Philip Lucas is swapping around just a little bit right now. But Verani trying to chase down. So we got side-by-side action. Philip Lucas so side-by-side with Leonardo Ochoa. Ochoa down to the inside. Lucas kept it inside the track. Was almost sideways exiting the track, as that is Lucas defending, attacking onto the outside of the track. Starts Ochoa diving it down to the inside. Ochoa makes the move for 17th place as all these cars, chaos at the hairpin. A couple of cars colliding with each other. It's Takushi Aito and Robert Ridgway getting in, taking a look at each other. Casey Isaac jumped up 13 spots reportedly. I don't believe that.
Wow, that's a big jump. So
I don't believe he's jumped 13 spots. He's looking for number 14 though, and he's looking out to the inside at the arena, and Isaac has done it.
He's putting some moves on early. I mean, it was a really good clean start. There was a little bit of a
he's letting that spot.
door banging, I guess, if you're wheel banging.
Wheel banging. We don't definitely have doors on these cars.
Yeah. You know. But anyway, so yeah, some wheel banging going on. But yeah, otherwise pretty clean. It's like everybody's standing there.
Dancing with that orange paint on Whataburger corner. We go side by side and then away onto the inside, as well as Tony Jimenez making that pass. And the 55 of Leonardo Cherry joining him as well as they continue on. A little bit of squabbling for spots. Evan Way trying to look down to the inside, that big right corner. O'Cherry's going to have to watch out because O'Cherry, he's got Lucas right behind him. And then a little bit of switchbacks right there, but everybody keeping in the same spot as they continue on. And Case Isaac is still plus 14. He is still driving. My running thought that he jumped the start is, well, it's not true because he stayed on the grid. The definite start I do want to see is Case Isaac. How did he get plus 14 spots?
Yeah. I'd like to see a replay of that also. That'd be interesting.
Smoley, asking you to see, there's Case Isaac at the back of the grid. How do you gain 14 spots in one lap? Well, Case Isaac is about to show you, as there is green right there. He gets an amazing start. Oh my gosh, this is the greatest start I've ever seen off the line. He's immediately jumped 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's how you do it. You get a good jump and just pass everybody down the front straight.
Good jump, good lines down to the inside. Case Isaac, take a bow. That's how you start a Formula 3 car off the line, overtaking. I'm going to have to say he overtook 10 cars on the front straightaway. That was beautiful by Isaac. He's up 19 spots now. Case Isaac is...
he really enjoys driving this track.
Yes. This is a very good drive by Case Isaac right now. I don't think we're going to be seeing him in 24th for longer. I think we might see him in the top 20 very soon. Maybe the top 10 at the end of this race, if he keeps his performance up. Behind them, the 17 and the 45 going at each other. That's Robert Ridgway at Whataburger corner, down towards the inside of the 45 of Pedro Soares, up into 27. Samad Fessy has gone into the pit lane. The car looks all right, but I think he might just have a little stop and go and get that out of there. Shouldn't be seeing drivers have that issue very soon.
So is there a fast repair available? Question for the audience. I don't really know. So maybe that was what that was. Maybe he felt like he had a little bit of wing damage and just came in and got it all fixed.
Probably.
Up back out.
Probably, or he had to serve a penalty on lap 1, stop, go. But I wouldn't expect a penalty to be served that late after an incident. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was just a little bit of a wheel bang, and he decided I got a little bit of wheel damage. I should probably go in and use a fast spare, get that fixed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coffrey and Barris side by side. Fight for second. Michael and Coffrey up into second place.
So far, pretty standard fare. Looks like Sandstrom's out to a nice lead, 3 seconds. Everybody else just kind of riding in line. I'm sure they're just waiting for the next straightaway so they can get a nice draft and see if they can pick up a spot. Otherwise, looking pretty good though. Everybody just kind of staying in line, riding the track.
Finding their groove right now after
sure.
the opening lap chaos. They know that this race is a long race. 25 laps on these tires. Tire life is going to be very important. Lucas Murphy could look down to the inside here at Big Red Corner, but he's just staying right behind them. Luca Verani up ahead. He could have gone down to the inside, but he didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, if we're gonna be concerned about tire life, then probably lap 12 to 15, you'll start seeing cars that are getting a little oversteery coming out of the corners as they're trying to get back on throttle. Braking points. This car, once the tires start going bad, the braking points are a little bit further out. So you may see people blowing the corners and missing apexes. So it'll be something interesting to watch later in the race.
Yeah, it's definitely something to look forward to later on in this race from lap 15 all the way to 25. Big lockup by Verani heading into that hairpin. It's already starting out right now. And
that's not going to help him.
It's not going to help him, and I think the Texas heat is not helping him as well. Smoley, that is Ryan Berry off at turn 9. He's getting in that car facing forward right now. Staying on the outside of the track. 24 degrees Celsius out here right now is the track temp. 21 degrees Celsius in the air. And for well, he went from having one issue to another. This is Matthew Gracie at the hairpin.
Yeah, that wasn't Barry's fault, though. There was another car involved in that kind of shot down to the inside. It looks like it may have clipped the front of the 707.
As it's 3 wide heading into the arena. It's the 42 and the 5 fighting with each other. Simon Fessi was on the inside in the 5 of Arturo Magora on the outside, but then down onto the inside. Here comes Simon Fessi back down to the inside, back onto the inside, but Agora brings it back onto the inside, and Agora takes the lead of this fight, but here comes Simon Fessi right back at him right now through the triple apex, triple right-hander underneath that beautiful tower right now. Simon Fessi retakes 36th place. Beautiful move, as here's Tumakans down onto the inside, but he's going to have a big worry behind him because that driver behind him really wants to go. That's Otlavs. Marquez, the Latvian driver, definitely wanted to go for a move, but he was just too far back to go for that move. But here comes the 46 of Hernandez. Juan Hernandez down onto the inside, up onto Big Red Corner, down to the inside, and up into 40th place. And that's some wonderful joy of iGPFun action up and down the field. No matter where you look, you're always going to have a smile on your face, unless you're the driver right behind them, because I believe they're facing backwards. That would be Barry.
Barry again. Yeah, Barry's struggling a little bit today.
It's definitely not the Canadians' day, as he is actually towed into the pit lane. Glam Center fight for 10th, down on towards the inside. And I believe he's got a lot of traffic on the outside. He's hit that inside curb. That's allowed the 48 to Kevin Zwebstra to go up onto the inside. Big dive by Hay, but Glamsetter held it around to the outside. Alistair Hay is still right in there with him in the arena. He's on that outside line again. Glamsetter's on that inside line, and Glamsetter just sneaking his way through there. But now he's got that inside line through the triple right-hander on the tower turn. They go side by side by side by side through these 3 corners. But Glamsetter held it around the outside of all 3 of those corners and able to make it work for 11th.
Yeah, it was a great battle. And that's what I like about this track is you think that you've got an advantage, and then the next thing you know, the track switches up on you, and now instead of you being on the inside, you're on the outside, and they're doing a great job just side by side battling through 3 or 4, 5, 6 corners in a row.
Yeah, let's make that 7. Alistair Hay down towards the inside at big red corner. And he found that opportunity. They're still side by side just for a little bit. Glamster could have kept it around the outside right there through turns 3, 4, 5, and 6. Beautiful corners here at Circuit of the Americas in this opening S section. I gotta have to say, most beautiful runoff, painted runoff, I would say, of any of the tracks.
I'd have to agree with that.
You don't see a lot of painted runoff, so it's a very small competition. The only other painted runoff I can name on top of my head is France, and not a lot of people like France.
Right. I think that's the other one that comes to mind. Paul Ricard.
Miami. Miami has palm trees.
Yeah.
It's not on iRacing, so it doesn't count.
That's right. That's right.
France is also not on iRacing, so that doesn't count either. COTA wins. Coffrey and Barris getting a little bit off track right there, as they're trying to chase down Jesper Sandstrom, who's pulled off a 4-second gap behind him right now. This is a beautiful master class by Sandstrom. I believe it's because Coffrey and Barris have been fighting with each other.
Sandstrom gets a nice lead, and now everybody else behind is just kind of fighting to just kind of gain a tenth here and a tenth there. But once you get side by side racing, then you're losing lots and lots of time to the cars in front, and it just brings more action from behind a lot of times.
All right, so I have a clarification on the opening laps from this race on Case Isaac on his 10-plus overtake. In the weekly briefing, there is no active overtakes rule until after the turn 10 left. So he ignored that.
Yes, he did.
So that is how he did
ignored that multiple times.
Yeah, he got it off the line heading into turn 1, which it's very hard to defend that. I know he got an amazing start off the line, which, standing starts. If you wanted to have a no pass zone, I would go for rolling starts, but it kind of goes against the series with standing starts in Formula Racing. Somebody got really wide yeses right there. That was one of the MRP cars. And spin! That is Ortlovs. And to the 48 of Hernandez. But yeah, Case Isaac ignored the first point in the iGPFun weekly briefing, so that will be looked at after the race on his start.
Yeah, it just kind of makes you wonder,
It explains why. It explains why it was so easy for him to go.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself, did he get a great jump because everybody else was just playing it safe because they knew they couldn't pass? Or did he just get a great jump?
I think it's both.
So, yeah.
Because it was a good start off the line anyway. And then it just got even better. And, I know! Locking it down, avoiding the wall. Entering the arena, but that was carrying a little bit too much mustard heading in right there, and he's put down a nice pair of 11s to decorate that inside line, which is usually home to a giant Texan flag. iRacing, get on that. Come on.
We need a track update.
Oh, please. The thing is, I don't want to actually have the track update for COTA because it's historically gotten more bumpy and bumpy because it's actually built on that southern Texas clay that we have here. So the track actually has more undulation than it has now. And the last time that I was around here, late last year, it was pretty bumpy in the Honda. It was pretty bumpy in the Honda.
Yeah, I think just from watching it from some of the events that they hold there, yeah, it does not look like it's conducive to lots and lots of grip. You just get to start riding, but you don't have, if we talk about the upper Formula Series.
Yeah,
they
like their tracks extremely smooth. we do things here a little bit differently in Texas. It's wild like a bunker bronco.
That's right. It's going to move down to the inside. Cover. He's moved up 3 spots, so having a pretty decent race to start off with.
Ronnie sitting in 9th place, trying to chase down Samuel Hermer up ahead of him. You see a little bit of red dots hopping onto the driving towers. That is just our timing system saying, hey, this driver's off the track. And which we were talking about the track limits here. They're very tight. So we're going to be seeing a kind of lot of that, especially in a few of the same corners. Last corner of the 8th of the arena, turn 19, entering and exiting, and the final corner as well. Track limits are going to become a big thing here, though I must also clarify that our track limits are a little bit different than the official iRacing track limits, as, ooh, Case Isaac spun out of the final corner and in the wall. And does he have damage? Gives the steering wheel a little bit of a right, a little bit of a left, trying to see if it's all good. But that is definitely not what Case Isaac wants.
No, yeah. So all that work, basically, he's kind of lost a little bit of it. Now he's got a nice pack behind him that's going to challenge him and make sure that car is still up to speed. Otherwise, he's going to fall back even further.
Vessi looking a little bit spicy heading into the S's, looking down to the inside of Zoltan Zomer. He's getting a good run right now as we pass the night train on that long turn 6 on that hill. Get down to the inside. That's a very dangerous place to overtake right there. Looking down to the inside on this high rise. Vessi gets a good run on Zomer, but it's a blind corner. He's trying to find the inside. He's found the inside right now, side by side. Heading into the hairpins, and somehow Vessi sends it down to the inside. Maybe a little bit of an oversend, but Zoltan Zomer climbs over that apex curve and kills off all the speed on that switch that he was going for. Someone Vessi up in at 31st.
Yeah, so iRacers take note. That's what patience looks like. He waited till after the apex of that corner, and then worked his way to the inside. Was able to make a nice clean pass.
Looking for another move right here. Well, wasn't very patient about that one. Was really far back to go for that move on Matt Brewer up ahead of him. Brewer able to stay ahead in that MRP GP car. Brewer on the inside of the track. Vessi trying to hold around the outside and swinging for that apex. Brewer goes a little bit wide. Vessi's already side by side with him.
Yeah, he's looking for more. He's not done yet.
He definitely wants to go back up the grid. He's down 8 spots from where he started after an incident. See him cutting that inside of the track. Oh, lose a big load of traction entering turn 19. Saw him catch that understeer right there, trying to force the car in, and he's missed the apex once more. He's really struggling with the car.
Yeah, so, he's back here. I think he may be a little bit faster. He's already been in the pits and had to looks like he took a faster repair. So
yeah, we saw him take that fast repair. Just fix tire damage.
So maybe he's a little bit out of position, so that's why he's able to kind of work his way through the field a little bit.
Out of position or not, he's down there. He's giving us a good show. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying
Absolutely, yeah. He's got a really nice line through here, and it looks like he's just all over this guy. And Brewer in front.
Ooh, Brewer got offset, and he's let him by.
I think that might have just been the pressure from behind, right? So now he's kind of off. He's kind of off the track, out of his rhythm, and so now he's just got to try and reset and start picking the pace back up.
Yeah, some might say rhythm is a dancer, and you just gotta get a little. If you get a little out of step, you've got 2 left feet, you just might have just step back, take a breath, and rejoin the dance.
That's it.
Because not everybody can do the Texan 2-step on their first try.
I don't think I could do it on my 10th try, to be fair.
I'm Texan. I've done it a few times.
It's a nice little battle up here in the front of the field. 4-tenth gap should shrink up as they're coming up the straightaway.
I'm not expecting these guys to be fighting with each other that much. We're closing in on halfway of the race. Lap 15 is where I'm going to start seeing a lot of these guys' tires really fall off, and that's going to really show us who's been looking after their tires and who's been just a little bit more aggressive. I think Victor Barris is just playing this a little bit cautiously. Just put down his fastest lap of the race of 1:57.48. That is a very quick time by Victor Barris, and I feel like he's getting ready to rock and roll here, because Jesper Sandstrom also just did a 1:57.4 in clean air. So Victor Barris might be looking for second place very soon if he keeps this up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it looks like he's got a really good going. So yeah, if he's managed to just kind of hang out for the first 10 laps, he should have another, a little more, I guess, fresher tires. And so as soon as the opportunity arises, I'm sure he'll take advantage of it.
Well, he's in the draft. He's looking down to the
there it
inside,
is.
taking advantage is definitely what he's going to do, but he gets onto the brakes earlier. Well, he was selling a fake, trying to see if Coffrey was buying, but he is not buying that move right there. But he certainly caught me off guard with selling that dummy. He really wanted for it.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to kind of sell that, and hopefully the guy outbreaks himself and goes wide, and then use easier pass that way.
Speaking of easy pass, Clark Williams down to the inside of Chuck Morrow, down to the inside, and easy as pie up into 18th place for the 98. He's also up 8 spots now.
He's absolutely having a good run.
Speaking of a good run, Irvin's having a good run on Matt Brewer right now. He's actually cleared him in that 888 machine into the arena and heads up into 32nd place.
Yeah, I'm really surprised we haven't seen more incidents at that corner. That seems like a prime spot for.
Well, these drivers are very safe around each other. That's how the iGPFun series has been going on for 20 years. Started in 2003. Started in 2003 on Grand Prix Legends. Our old friend, old co-broadcaster of the iGPFun series here on Apex Racing TV, Marco Barbonera. Yeah, I said that right. Used to race with them, and he always says that he's very glad to see them racing here now on iRacing. It started on Grand Prix Legends, came to iRacing. They actually raced in the Spec Racer Fords for a while before switching to the F3, and they've just stuck with the F3 ever since. So congrats on 20 years, and Luca Verani is the head of iGPFun right now. The head guy there, and definitely one of the best leagues in the world.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, you have to be doing something right if you've managed to go 20 years over multiple surfaces. I mean, that's absolutely amazing.
Multiple services, multiple sims, multiple cars. They've got the right recipe here, and it's a good recipe. It's called fun. Speaking of fun, Sandstrom is having fun up there at the front, putting in the fastest lap of the race, 1:57.18. Nobody else is in the 1:57.1s. Even the fastest lap time next to him is a 1:57.4. He is 3/10 clear of everybody's best, and last lap he was nearly 7/10 clear of everybody else. Jesper Sandstrom is checked out.
Absolutely. He's obviously extremely comfortable in the car. I think he likes it a little bit looser. So now that the tires are starting to wear down.
He just did a 1:57.03.
Obviously he's done something right. He's got the right line that's maximizing his tire wear, or minimizing his tire wear, I should say.
I'm gonna say this because I know he's watching. Marteau, come back. Your competition's right here.
There you go. And so obviously, yeah, that the fuel burning off now, car's a little bit lighter, so they're going to be a little bit quicker. But yeah, he's absolutely laying the hammer down.
Now the hammer is definitely coming down for Jesper Sandstrom. And speaking of the hammer is coming down for Victor Barris and Coffrey, as Barris 3/10 in that opportunity to fight for second place, much closer than last time that we saw this move. So you're going to look down to the inside of this corner, heading into the arena. 2/10, 1/10, side by side. Here we go, down towards the inside. Victor Barris on Coffrey, and it's Victor Barris, party the 269, back into second place. And that's Clark Williams on the exit of the hairpin on the inside of the track. The wrong way. He's just trying to find the best spot to get back on the track. Found a clean spot, and he's got back rolling.
I wonder if that was a self-inflicted spin or if that was he had a little help.
I think we're about to see a little bit of an example of too much mustard heading out of that corner into the hairpin. And, oh, he's already sliding on entry.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, just carried way too much speed through there.
Yeah, too much mustard. The car was already laying down tire marks throughout the corner. And honestly, it's very nice that he kept that car from spinning out in the middle of the corner. It's just on the exit, throttled up just a little bit too much and ended up pointing the wrong way. In a very, very lonely part of the track, that hairpin.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so just looking, looks like Barris is kind of starting to stretch that gap now. Now that he's made his way around Coffrey, the gap's up to like 3/4.
Oh, that's Williams again. And that's turn 19, and Williams is out of the race.
Yeah, kind of makes you wonder if the tires were still just kind of overheating or if he's just been punishing them throughout the race.
I think that was someone Fessy just bump drafting Case Isaac right there, down to the inside, Fessy up in a 27th. And I think it was bump drafting.
You can bump draft these cars, but it's an art form. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do, but you get that good straight, and you get and if you like you said, these guys race together and trust each other. And if you get somebody that you trust, it will do it. Obviously, it's much faster that way.
Well, the artist Simone Fessy definitely made that work, as Case Isaac got a little bit wobbly right there, a little bit wild, heading out of turn 8 and 9.
Yeah, that triangle sausage curb that we said you probably shouldn't try and drive over.
These are not the edible triangles. They're not
correct.
those beautiful butter, chocolate, white chocolate treats that you get at this time of year. Those are the sausage curbs, triangles. Steven Ritter's ahead of Philip Lucas. The fight for 16th.
Yeah, so now we're on lap 15. So now we'll start seeing the tire wear start really coming into play.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of the tires struggle in the arena section. And this is where you're going to be seeing a lot more mistakes by a few of these drivers heading out of the slow corners. The arena section, the hairpin. Speaking of the hairpin, Alistair Hayes off the track.
There you go.
And the hairpin.
So
just couldn't get that car slowed down, rotated.
That's it. And that's part of it, right? So it's getting back on the throttle. You've got to be very cautious with it. Braking, because as the tires wear, they don't adhere to the track as much. So braking distances are a little bit longer. So you have to make those little micro adjustments during the race as you go. As you see him sliding through there, he's really trying to handle that car. I don't know how much that car is going to be able to take, though.
Yeah, you can ride a Bronco pretty wild, and I think that was Andy Flint going it really wide at the hairpin. So a lot of these drivers are struggling to keep the cars on the track right now. Andy Flint, the Scuderia Racing Forces team, went really wide, and that's allowed Alistair Hay to get into that draft 4/10 ahead. Verani and Zwemstra having a good fight for 9th place up ahead of them, heading into the arena for 9th. But our eyes are still looking at Alistair Hay and Andy Flint. Right now, Flint able to stay ahead. But how much tire life do these drivers have on these tires for now? As you can see, the tires are really laid down in the exit of that hairpin. This fight right now for the 9th place. Luca Verani, Kevin Swebstra.
And there you go with another fast lap by Sandstrom. 57.01.
Take a shot every time that happens. You'll be poisoned at the end of this race. Unless you're taking a shot of water, then you'll be hydrated.
Yes, absolutely.
I highly suggest you do that. Second one. Zwemstra in the trap. opportunity to look down the inside. It looks like Hermer up ahead of him had a big lockup heading into big red corner, so he might be struggling with tire wear as well at this point. And he's putting on a pressure for 7th place, chasing down Kenzie ahead of him.
Yeah, there's still lots of active battles on this in the race that, you know, guys are just trying to get those 1 or 2 spots.
Right on board.
You could just see the back end just wants to come out, just wants to step out.
A little bit of loosey-goosey, little bit of tail wagging right there, like a dog at a barbecue, but everybody is just getting that car settled down and kept on going. As you can see, Kenzie was very aggressive on the entry. The tires actually slid on the entry. He took a lot of life out of those tires. Luca was a lot more slower throughout that corner, but as you can see off the exit, he's got that done. And Hermer and Nywoff going for that move for 7th place up ahead of him. Down to the inside goes Hermer, and Nywoff, not Kenzie, held it around the outside. Hermer trying to hold it around to the inside, but now Hermer around the outside. He's got to keep it on the track though. That was our 4 wheels off the track in that section. Tried to carry the speed around there, but was unable to do so. Hermer falls back to 8th place. Had a good opportunity, but Kenzie held him off right now, but Luca Ferrani, he's in striking distance.
Yeah, sometimes you can take what I would call the tactical off track to try to get a little bit of advantage, and it just didn't kind of pay off for him. So sometimes you get away with that in iRacing. But these leagues may frown upon things like
yes. The tactical off track in that section actually has the AstroTurf on the outside, so it's not that tactical. But you can see what he was trying to do. Then he was just playing it safe. There was no contact between him and Kenzie, so they kept on racing for another time. And if he kept it alongside of him, that would have been pretty sketchy to see that happening. As Luca and Kevin are fighting for 9th place, and I think this fight is going to start merging with that other fight if they keep on going at it with each other.
Yeah, same thing. You get side by side and you start slowing each other down, and then now you're bringing more participants into that fight, and so your 2-way battle becomes a 4-way battle, becomes a 5-way battle, and this is what we enjoy watching. Not even fun for them, but it's fun for us.
No, I think they're having fun even if they're battling. I tell you, I've been in a few battles on iRacing where I'm just giggling like an idiot throughout the entire time, even if I'm getting passed. Very side by side along me for 6 corners, I'm happy.
There you go.
Nothing makes me happier than clean racing on track.
Yeah, this has been really, really clean. If you compare this to standard F3 iRacing sessions, I mean, half the field would be parked already because, you know, they're only running, 24, 26 cars. And, you know, we started with, what was it, 49?
Yes, 49 cars took the start of this race. The current amount of cars that have gone into the pits is actually 10.
Yeah. That's insane. Like I said, you know, standard.
And they're still driving, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Some of the drivers that have gone into the pits are just gone to the pits because they had to do a little pit repair. We saw that with the artist, number 42, Simone Fessy, as this is Hermer diving it down to the inside of Big Ride. Big slide and a drift. Trying to get that car locked down, and unfortunately that slide and the drift allowed Kenzie to hold off 7th round the outside for a beautiful fight that we got for 7th right now. Beauty of a fight at the front of this train. Hey, look behind him at this train. We got Hermer, Zwemstra, Verani, Glamsetter has joined the party as well. 5-car fight. This is a beauty to watch.
Yeah, I mean that was a bold move, but didn't quite pay off for him. But he's right back in there, ready to try something else.
Well, he's going to try it again. Down to the inside at turn 12, carrying a lot of speed. A big slide once again by Hermer. This time it was bold, maybe a little bit too brave in the bold. And we're not talking about Batman right there. That was a little bit ludicrous there by Samuel Hermer. 3 wide on the back straightaway. Luca Ferrani joining the fight. He wants to go to 3 spots down to the inside, but he gets onto brakes just a little bit early. He's side by side by side by side by side. 3 wide, down to the inside. Herbert holding it around to the outside. He stays in 8th place, but Ferrari holding it around to the outside, and Christian Glenson in there as well. As they are side by side, these 4 cars in a diamond formation looking like the Blue Angels right now. There goes the Racing Forces car down to the inside, trying to get a opportunistic spot on Kevin Zwebster, but unable to get it right there. Zwebster stays in 10th place. Ronnie up in the 9th. Samuel Hermer stays in 8th place, and Kenzie Nywolf, well, his mirrors are a lot cleaner right now. What a set of corners we just witnessed here.
That was some fantastic racing. Yeah, Hermer obviously a little over enthusiastic going into the hairpin. Managed to hold on to the car. Everybody else managed to hold their lines. And then, you know, just a casual 3 wide into the arena with a 4th car just waiting for somebody to spin. So, yeah, it was great racing.
I think Samuel Hermer is going to be taking a lot less bold moves heading into hairpins right there. Luca Ferrani gets overtaken by Kevin Zwebster. A very clean overtake by Kevin in the Alligatech NHR by Neiman Racing. Down to the inside, up into 9th place. And very nicely wording by Samuel Hermer and bold moves, as Circuit of the Americas was home to the former USL team, the Austin Bold FC, until Austin FC was moved there by the MLS, and then they relocated to Fort Worth. So long, Austin Bold. The stadium is still there on the inside of the Triple Apex right-hander in that little concourse.
That's the kind of local language that
There's a rant in there, by the way. I was about to start ranting, but I'm going to stop. This is Michael Coffrey. And, mistake by Victor Barris, trying to hold down that inside line. Big lockup, big mistake. Coffrey back into 2nd.
Yeah, just the late braking, just a little too hard. Locked the tires, made it for a much easier pass for Coffrey than he would have reached.
Coffrey spins it now. And now Bear's back into 2nd. Coffrey's in 6th place, and I feel like that he's going to be joining that Nywolf party. There is Kenzie down to the inside, and yeah, he's in that party right now. So Michael and Coffrey goes from 2nd place all the way down to 7th, and that is that tire wear, right speaking. And, Hermer around the outside. Beauty of a move at Whataburger corner.
Yeah, just sideways as he was doing it. So it's not over with. Coffrey's trying to make his way back up.
Just sideways as always, Samuel Hermer. So, you know, he's doing what he does. Hey, do you like 3 wide action? Let's have 3 wide action. Heading in a big red corner. Hermer's back in. Hermer's sending it around the outside. That's Kenzie sending it through the middle. And that is a deep move by Coffrey. Here's Luca Ferrani. 3 wide off base and in turn 2. There's contact at turn 2. Hermer trying to hold it down. Onto the apex. Coffrey had nowhere to go. Kind of squeezed like a bottle of ketchup right there. Big incident at turn 2.
Yeah, that was, you know, Hermer's made a couple really bold moves, and that was just a little too much.
I feel like, yeah, he was very bold onto the inside, trying to keep it on the track. Coffrey was being squeezed by Verani on the outside, and yeah, nowhere for him to go except for into Hermer. Hermer had nowhere to go except onto the brakes. This is only, oh my gosh, what is happening here? That's Richard Van Veen. Very smoky show at the hairpin.
Yeah, so I think we talked about this at the beginning of the race. We're at lap 20 now.
Yep.
The tires are just completely gone. So now,
and speaking of gone, McIntyre Jones somehow kept it on the track right there.
Yeah, so now as everybody, basically we've gone from auto racing to ice skating.
Something that we here in Texas have no idea what it is.
Yeah, same here in Alabama.
What's ice? Gaten Imhoff is off the track in 27th place. It's falling down the field. I feel like this is another case of ice skating.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh, that's actually still going. He's gone back up to speed as a Sandstrom. Why do you do this? How do you do this? 156.5. How? 156.5. You're half a second faster than the fastest lap of Victor Barris behind him. It was a 157.03. His last lap was 157.8. This is just insane. Glam Center onto the inside of Verani. You have a calm down gesture button. You need that.
Exactly. Yeah, obviously done a great job of tire management because he's just still out there just setting fast lap after fast lap. It's, he's got the gap up.
You get
gap.
You know when you get into that gap and you're doing that speed, you just turn into just robotic time to that at that point. You aren't pressured by anybody else. You're just driving your own race. So, hey, hats off to him. Hats off to him. It's just robotic. It's just robotic.
Yeah, it's an 11.9-second lead at this point, so it's fine. And of course, Barris and McIntyre Jones and
they've been fighting with each other. They've all had their incidents too.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It is self-explanatory. And Barris and McIntyre Jones been having a good fight as well. Lucas Maruk in there as well, trying to get a little bit of pressure on his teammate. Digital Apex is 3rd and 4th right now. Beauty of a team result for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Maruk's moved up 4 spots, so he's having a really good race. He's hasn't really done anything outstanding, but he's just kind of been steady and just kind of taken advantage of what's been given to him. So, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Just looks very controlled as he's making that corner up to the front straight.
Yeah, these two teammates, I wouldn't be expecting them to be fighting with each other very soon. 3 laps to go here at Circuit the Americas. Your top 4, Sandstrom, Barris, McIntyre Jones, Lucas Maruk, and Lee Aberdeen in 5th place. And then we got a pretty good train for 6th. That's a slow car. That's Evan Way going slow off the exit. I feel like he's serving a slowdown penalty. There is a tricky slowdown. That is Tony Jimenez sliding his way off the exit of Big Red Corner. But yeah, there is a slowdown hidden here on Circuit of the Americas. A very easy one to get. And I think that was Evan Way just giving that spot back.
Yeah, probably so.
But Evan Way knocking on that top 10 door. It's Tony Jimenez up ahead of him. See him working that wheel, trying to keep the traction. And this is definitely the spot to trying to keep that traction because it is one of the traditionally lowest traction corners in the circuit. And then definitely in this hairpin. You can see with the new track polish feature on iRacing how dark that hairpin has gotten. So much darker. See all the rubber being laid down. There's a good fight for 15th behind them between Ritters and Suarez as they start their trip down the back straightaway. There we go. Steven Ritters in that Atomic Racing car, and I believe a Racing Forces car, Pedro Suarez, who's got a little bit of fans in the track. Suarez with a big switch it down onto the inside, then back onto the outside, tries to hold it around the outside, but it gets perfectly blocked by Steven Ritters, who is just planted himself on that inside line to defend from the Hydro Racing Forces 45, Pedro Suarez, but the Canadian Steven Ritters defending very well. Big slide by Suarez, trying to find an opportunity right now, but it's just being dealt with by the 27 Canadian from the Portugal driver. As big, very wide throughout Whataburger Corner. This is going to be an opportunity for Pedro Suarez.
Yeah, he's definitely fighting that car. Ritters is just trying to keep it, but he's doing a good job of just placing the car in a position that is making it difficult for Suarez to try and get around him. And now until we get down to turn 1 here, like there's going to be a last of the late breakers opportunity. Nope.
No, he's cleared him heading in, and Kenzie getting into each other. 2 Dutchmen, unfortunate countrymen contact. They are both from the same country, both on different teams. And the Hydro Race car of Kenzie gets ahead of Kevin, gives him a little bit of a block heading into that corner to get ahead back into 8th place. So let's run aboard of Kevin Zwemster as we enter the arena with about 2 laps left remaining here at Circuit of the Americas. Kevin Zwemster on that Alcatec NHR car trying to catch up to that Hydro Race Racing Forces car ahead of him.
Yeah, basically when we're looking at that incident earlier, it just kind of looked like the lead car just maybe lost the rear and had to kind of lift, and that kind of helped or didn't help the situation at all. just kind of help cause the situation. Is the word I was looking for there.
So shout out to series competitor Alex Celiano, who we usually see out here in the Hydro Race Racing Forces cars as well. He's looking to join back on the season, but he's currently doing some off-road stuff. Please do tell me in a very elaborate DM, because I love me some good off-road racing. And curb strike by Kenzie. And you can see the car got offset up into the air, jumping to the stars. Move over, SpaceX. We got your space elevators right here.
Yeah, absolutely. And he just caught it really. It's not like he hit it flush, but maybe he just kind of glanced off of it and it just shot the car across the track.
Yeah, shot the car straight up into the air and to the right, off into that runoff. But there was all four wheels off the track, and as we were looking at that from his view, and boom, just right there. Yeah. Inside curve, shot the car off across the track. I think it cleared the track off the line. And that view that we saw from Kevin was just beautiful. But he's got it right back, but there it goes. Kevin Swebstrom wants some more down to the inside, but Kenzie, can he hold him off the exit? Yes, he can, but he's forcing him to go around to the outside. Kenzie Nywolf, after that curb strike, immediately on the pressure of Kevin Swebstrom once again. Smoke in the air, white flag in the air as well for Jesper Sandstrom, and the rest of the field still hasn't got to the white flag right now. Now they have, and big spin by Kenzie. Wow, he was trying to fight the car, kept it going. Unfortunately, it was just too much for the tires to keep up.
I'm just kind of wondering if he's got wheel damage from that curb strike. And that's just causing it.
The steering seems straight. It's just the tire wear is just too high.
So,
but no, wait, it might be kinked to the left. No, it's straight.
Yeah, just was just curious because it looked like that was.
It's just tire wear.
It's like a weird spot for a crash or for a spin. But yeah. At this point, there's probably just they're
on treads right now. They're on treads of tires. They're just wishing that these Hankook tires can stay intact here. And yes, the iRacing Formula 3 cars, Dallara F3, other numbers in there use Hankooks. And that's a slow car on the inside. That's a 70 lapped car, letting Tony Jimenez and Evan Way by. Evan Way looking for 9th place. So this is a way to do it. Look down to the inside. Unfortunately, too late to do that, but he's going to have a good opportunity in that draft down that long back straight. Well, it's just too far back, but too far away to be challenged by anyone. Jesper Sandstrom, the driver from Scandinavia, looking very good. He passes Whataburger corner around turn 20 to take the win. Ladies and gentlemen, Jesper Sandstrom dominates here at Texas.
Absolutely, that was a dominant performance.
And it said a dominating fastest lap of the race as well on the final lap.
Of course. What else would you expect, right?
I expected him to do a little bit of trick juggle across the line and maybe give me a beer. As that's a big mistake by Tony Jimenez. He might get a late overtake by Andy Flint. Flint's at the apex, but big slide by Tony Jimenez entering the corner. They're going to be side by side. Andy Flint snipes him at the line. 0.06 of a second separates Flint and Jimenez. And that's Richard Van Veen and Reed Dennis off the track. The local driver and the Dutchman having a little bit of entanglement entering the arena. Was there a touch between them? I don't think so. They just both ended up right there. I think both of them just trying to get off the power. Unfortunately, the cars are just on ice right now. Matthew Gracie putting some pressure on Palolo Bremme. Marquez Otras 3 wide heading into the arena. Down to the inside, the 707 of Matthew Gracie leads as Palolo goes off the track. A little bit of lock for Palolo.
Yeah, we didn't know the 3 wide going in there to end the race.
a little bit of excitement at the end. Up and down the field as 7-7 on a little bit of a lockup for Mike Gracie. Here comes Marquez. Marex trying to go for that move. The Latvian driver in that draft, in that perfect opportunity. He's got 2 more corners to go here at Whataburger Corner, and then that final corner, big smoke show at Whataburger Corner. That's definitely not coming from the grill, and that's down to the inside. A late move by Marex, but he makes it work across the line. Big, well, nearly a slide job on that final corner, but Marex going for that move and making it work.
That was so aggressive, but yeah, no contact, and and got the position. And
Matthew Gracie
says, you know what? I'm just done.
I'm done. The tire's done. The car's done. Everything's done. I'm going home. I'm going to a Whataburger after this.
That's right.
Which you should do, by the way.
Absolutely.
Definitely. If you have an opportunity to.
Wow.
What
Great
a race here today.
Yeah,
Jesper
obviously,
Sandstrom dominating the race from start to finish, and then everybody else, oh man, it looked like they were in a rodeo for all 8 seconds for these 25 laps, and ye freaking ha.
Yeah, it was, yeah, Sandstrom obviously just, head and shoulders above everybody else, but everybody else was just like, okay, can we maybe have some tires? About halfway through this race, it's like, maybe a pit stop's not a bad idea.
We say there was one time where one driver has told me, hey, I'm going to go for a pit stop halfway through this race. He went from leading the race to down to 15th, and then I think he finished as 7th, so it didn't work out for him.
Yeah, so, it's, but no, it was a fantastic race. Obviously, we talked about at the start, these guys are, obviously had a good time racing each other, and it was, for the most part, was a really clean race. I had a couple that were just what I would consider were over-aggressive moves, but for the most part, fantastic racing. Everybody really fighting hard.
Yeah, really fighting hard up and down the field. Jesper Sandstrom, well, he fought his tires to dominate this race with dominating lap times, 13 seconds ahead of everybody else, followed by Victor Barris, Lucas Maruk, Will McIntyre Jones, Lee Aberdeen, Christian Glamser, Luca Ferrari, Kevin Zwemstruck, Evan Way, Andy Flick, Tony Jimenez, Kenzie Nightwolf, Alistair Hayes, Samuel Hermer, Pedro Suarez, Stephen Ritters, Philip Lucas, and Marcelo Kessler, Chuck Morrow, Slack Williams, Robert Ridgway, Ben Goyette, Simon Fessy, Erwin Tumacans, Richard Van Veen, Reed Dennis, Zolta Zomer, Gaten Imhoff, Matt Brewer, Rito Scattini, Arturo Magora, Marex Otzloff, a daring last lap overtake on Matthew Gracie, Paulo Lobreme, Alan Lee, Case Isaac, after that incredible start, fell down to 37. Dorian Arroyo, Juan Hernandez, James Carter, Adam Towser, Giovanni Soletto, Ryan Berry, Michael M. Coffrey, Kuji Ido, Clark Williams, Leonardo Ocheri, Fernando Corres, and Jose Arroyo at the end of our 49-car grid. That is it for here at Texas. What a race. What a race we had. Dominance from one car, but up and down the field, it was just action, 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 and some more action, and it's got a permanent smile on my face. What a race we had here today. Next week, we head to France in that new track, heading to Magny-Cours. It's going to be a very big experience here on Apex Racing TV. Make sure to join us next week as we celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the iGPFun Formula 3 series presented by SRP. Here from Circuit of the Americas, I've been joined by Charles Bushell with Samuli Kumo in the production booth. I'm Austin Knight, and I hope y'all have a good night.